Okay, so with the Women's Euros in Switzerland has kicked off. Finland-Iceland has just finished. It was the opening game. I'm a little bit surprised that the organisers have had the host Switzerland play their match against Norway second on the opening night, but Finland and Iceland was the opening match. Finland have won 1-0, and I'm a bit surprised by this result because Iceland are ranked higher in the world. Iceland have beaten Germany in qualifying, and both sides have had lengthy droughts since their last win at the tournament. Finland have broken that drought. They've won 1-0. They were the better side. They had I think their tempo was better. They had better flow. They were better in possession. They used their width really well. They pushed their wing backs forward, which stretched the Icelandic defence. Finland looked like they were playing a 4-5-1 or a 4-4-2 hybrid system, and they did use their width really well. Iceland were employing a 4-3-3, and they couldn't really get sustained spells of possession. They did have their chances. They looked more threatening from set plays. They did cause problems from set plays. But Finland in general play were better. They I think edged the possession. They had a better tempo about them. They looked more competent and comfortable in possession. And the way they moved the ball quicker as well. They just looked at half a yard quicker. They looked more settled and comfortable without the ball and with the ball. And look, opening match for tournament, is going to be a bit cagey, but I think Finland worked their way into the game quicker. They settled quicker. Iceland never got settled. Surprisingly, though, we've only had the one goal. We did have opportunities. Finland had the best of the opportunities. They had more shots on target and off target. They created more. They were very creative, especially down their left, but also down their right. As I say, they used their width really well. They had a lot of joy down their left-hand side. Kosola, who scored the only goal, would regularly cut in on her right foot because she's predominantly right-footed. They had several good sights of goal in the first half. And forced saves out of the Icelandic goalkeeper. Iceland, they had a couple of moments from set plays where Finland looked a little bit nervy. I think that's a weak area of this Finnish side, is off set plays with organisation. The goalkeeper looked a little bit nervy from some set plays, better on others. But Iceland didn't create enough in open play. They couldn't have an out ball. When they were defending quite deep, and so they didn't have an out ball to get out and relieve that pressure valve. They had their odd moments, but generally speaking, they would turn the ball over again, and Finland would build another attack. There was none of this slow pass it around the back type of possession. It was all positive move forward. Iceland tried to be positive, and they did have their moments, but then the red card. Now, it's for 2 yellows for Antonsdottir, but that second challenge could have been a straight red. Now, because it was deemed as a second yellow, VAR can't get involved to overturn. That's a little thing in the rules there that a lot of people wouldn't be aware of. With the current VAR system we have under FIFA and via the domestic leagues, if there's VAR being used, if it's 2 yellows, you cannot go to VAR to overturn that red card. Now, the first one, it's a bit of a cynical challenge, the first one. Basically disrupting a Finnish attack. She takes the yellow. It's one of those team fouls where you've got to take one for the team, with no irony put it in that statement. That second one, that is a deliberate stamp on the ankle. We've seen legs and ankles get broken with a challenge like that. Initially, no one knew why she got sent off, but the referees picked it up, seen it, second yellow, but lucky that wasn't a straight red, and if they had tried to appeal that straight red, have fun with that. After that, Finland had to score because Iceland had their moments on the counter-attack, and Kosola does get her goal, again cutting in off the left-hand side on a very good right foot. Should the keeper do better? Gets a good strong left hand to it, but not enough to stop a very good shot going in. The Icelandic keeper was the busier of the 2 goalkeepers, having to deal with more balls in. But that Kosola's finish, if you know you've got a player on the left who's predominantly right-footed, why allow them to have time and space to cut in? So that's poor defending. I think the goalkeeper could do better. I am surprised that was the only goal, considering Finland did create some really good chances. Iceland had their moments as well. There were a couple of goalmouth scrambles and a couple of efforts on the Finnish net, but in reality, Finland controlled this game. I think the one weakness with Finland is dealing with set plays a little bit. I think they could be tested as the tournament goes on. But they've broken their winless drought in the tournament. It's been a very long time coming, long time between victories in the tournament. They haven't had a good run at the tournament since the early 2000s, so it was good. It was good and positive for them to get this win and keep a clean sheet. And they in open play they looked very good defensively. As I said, their one weakness I think is from set plays defensively. Iceland were very, very disappointing, and considering that, as I say, in qualifying they beat Germany, they are ranked higher than Finland. That is disappointing, but they haven't had a good record so far this year. But there we go, that's game one of the Women's Euro. That's the game one in Group A as well. Switzerland play Norway in just about an hour's time. That game is due to kick off. Switzerland are obviously the hosts, and they're playing in front of St Jacobs Park, so there's going to be a big crowd expected. It's one of the biggest stadiums in Switzerland. And with Norway, they've got a great history in the women's game, but a few years ago at the last Euros, I was very disappointed with the Norwegian performance in all three group games, so I'm expecting some kind of response and a better performance from Norway. That could be a very good game with the host Switzerland and a very strong Norwegian side. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts on the game in the comments section below. It's not often I do videos on Iceland and Finland in any sport, so it's kind of nice to have an international tournament to do some coverage on them. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts in the comments section below, and I'll have some more content for you all very, very soon.